Hey guys, this is a stream from one of my Facebook live streams. If there's a topic discussed here that you'd like to know more about, comment down below and who knows, I might use it as a topic for a future stream or YouTube video. So if you have any questions, let me know down below and enjoy. We got Garfield's watching. Oops, sorry, this way. Bill is watching. Oh, hey Bill. It's good to have you guys joining. That's cool. All right, so today we are going to be going over some of the Margie wanted me to go over some stretches I went through last time. And these stretches are like the ones that you get all the time from like anytime we're on our phones, we're always, we got the rounded shoulders and slightly elevated traps, okay? So slightly elevated shoulders like this. And we're trying to shut off those upper traps and those middle traps. The trapezius muscles, it's the ones that are back here. It's the ones that get really tight and they're constantly kind of getting pulled forward, so they kind of react by asking for more hypertonicity from your brain, like they tense up all the time. So what we're gonna do, the best thing that you can do is these stretches combined with exercises, because if you do the exercises like squeezing back and doing rows, it makes the muscle really tired, and the tired muscle will relax. But then in combination with that, if you stretch it out, the stretching will give you temporary relief, but having strong muscles in your back will help you to pull yourself back into good posture. And by the way, everybody who's watching right now should fix their posture before we even start. So set down this pen. So good posture would be, let me fix my mic here, but you want to make sure, you want to imagine almost like there's a string. Somebody's grabbing on here with a string and pulling up, kind of like I have this string here in the mic, okay? They're pulling up on the bottom of your sternum right here, okay? Around your xiphoid process, which is right, oh, I guess you guys won't be able to see that well unless here, let me move myself up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here we go. So right here, it's imagine somebody's pulling yourself up. So you want to get, you want to puff your chest out, and you do that by thoracic extension, which means the thoracic spine, like right in between my fingers here. You want to make sure that you don't want to be hunched over like this. So you do thoracic extension, then you bring your shoulder blades back and down. It's very important that you don't have your shoulders up like this, because you're under constant tension that way. This, by setting it down low, pushing your shoulders down and back, and then sticking your chest out, and then tucking your chin in, that good posture will prevent you from getting tight in the first place. But if you want to like get some temporary relief, because like maybe you're working on a project, okay, you're typing away, or you're on your phone or whatever, and it starts getting really, really tight and you need some relief. Well, applying some heat and doing some stretching, that's probably the best way to get it to relax here. Let's see what people are saying. Oh, Toby's watching. Toby's watching, okay, that's good. This should have like a closed captioning for dogs here. He doesn't really speak human language, unless I talk in a dog voice, you know, like, hey Toby, how's it going? I'm not gonna do that though, so. My traps have hypertonicity. Yes, Scott, that's very good. You don't want hypertoned, you do wanna be like, the term tonicity just refers to like when your muscle is at rest, okay, when it's just in its normal state, how much it's always receiving feedback, it's always giving feedback to your brain, and your brain's responding back to that feedback. And so it constantly tells your brain how much tension it's under and how much tension it needs. And so like when something is hypertonicity, it has too much tonicity. So it's like asking the brain, hey, I need some help here because I'm always getting bullied with this forward rounded posture, and it needs help to pull it back, and that's why it gets tight, because it's trying to pull it back for you. But if you just do it yourself, you won't have to. The traps won't have to do it themselves. I'm trying to read some of the comments here. My xiphoid process is, by the way, Scott, xiphoid is spelled with an X. It's XY, xiphoid. That's okay though. Xiphoid process is helping my thoracic extension. Yes, you're very good. Yeah, it's pretty good, Scott, for not knowing your anatomy and just whipping out those terms. It's very good. Okay, so the stretches. I know we've been waiting to go over the stretches. So I'm going to back up a little bit so that you guys can see them. I don't have a ton of space here. Help alleviate some of the issues here. Okay, so you guys should have a pretty good view of me. So the first one we're gonna do is one of my favorite stretches, which is the side bend stretch, okay? So I want you guys to take your arm, I want you to stick it behind your back like a chicken wing, okay? Just imagine that somebody's arresting you, okay? Maybe Bill's been here. Bill, I don't know. Have you been in this position? I'm not sure. You put your arm behind your back, okay? Little chicken wing, can you guys see that? Like this. Okay, and then we're gonna grab the side of our head. And actually, just try this without grabbing onto the top first. Just try bending over to the side, okay? And then if you need to give it a little extra boost, then try to pull it to the side a little bit. And where you don't want to like just crank on your neck. You don't want to just take your neck and just whip it over to the side. You want to just, first of all, have good posture, because if you don't have good posture, you're not going to feel the stretch as much. It's going to take, you're going to have to really bend your neck a lot to feel this stretch. So put the left, so like let's say you wanted to stretch out the left side of your neck. You put your left arm behind your neck, so the side that you want to stretch out, and then the reason why you put your also, if you guys have questions, like I'm going to give you an example. A question people ask me a lot is like, why do you have your arm behind your back, okay? So if you guys have questions like that, ask me, okay? But you put your arm behind your back because it kind of pins down your shoulder. You could also like grab onto the bottom of a chair. You could just grab onto that and it would depress your shoulder and lock it into place. And then once this is secure, okay, like right here, you think about the beginning of the shoulder at the acromion process right here. So as soon as that's locked into position, now when I move my head the other way, it instantly gives me a stretch without having to really crank on my neck. So you go here, put it behind, and then you want to breathe out. You want to exhale. And you want to let that stretch out right here, okay? And then depending on where you put your head, it can change where you feel it, okay? So like if I just go purely to the side like this, it's gonna stretch just the side of my neck. But then there's also one where you can imagine I have a pocket, okay? And I'm trying to look down into my pocket, or almost like I'm trying to look down here towards my armpit, okay? So you can go to the side, and then you can also look down. And if you look down at your armpit, you'll actually start to feel it in a different part of the neck. And that stretches out some of your scalene muscles. Scalene muscles are just kind of like these little tiny muscles. You don't really need to know what they are, but it's going to stretch out the traps, the upper traps, and the scalenes. And then once you have those stretched out, you should be doing stuff like this just in general to try to get those muscles to relax. So there's these muscles back here. Let me see if I can do this without hurting myself or disconnecting, okay? I'm just gonna have to believe that you guys can see me here, okay? So like these muscles, like right in between my fingers here, okay? Those are the muscles we're gonna be targeting. And the way that you can like just, if you just get the band, like we talked about last week, you grab a band, you don't even need a band, but the band helps to give you extra tension, and you just pull back like this. So anytime that you're working and stuff like that and you're bent over, if you can just like do the hallelujah stretch where you put your arms up and then you just squeeze back like this, and you see how I form a W with my arms? You want to form this W and you want to pull back, kind of like you're ejecting somebody out of a game, okay? Like they're an umpire and you're tossing them out of the game, and you're throwing two people out at the same time, okay? This is a crazy game that you're umpiring, okay? Sorry, I'm fixing my wire here, not my pants, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so so you just pull back like this and you squeeze as hard as you can. It might be hard because you're not used to it, but if you know, one thing that is very interesting is like if you're not good at this and you don't know if those muscles are really turning on all the way back there, I actually back myself up against, I don't know if anybody else does this, but I've never heard of anybody doing this, but I've noticed like ever since I started getting more back muscles in particular, when I go up against a pole and I'm like maybe laying on the floor or I'm at a party or something like that, and I'm like leaning up against the pole and I flex those rhomboid muscles, which are the ones that are right by my spine there, the ones that are right in between my scapulae, my shoulder blades, and I squeeze those, I can feel it activate and actually kind of pushes out against the pole. So if you really have a hard time feeling it, you can actually try to lean up against a pole and squeeze too. But just when you're working on your laptop like this, if you just squeeze back like this, so try to actually get some external rotation too, because you might not realize it, but you're actually doing internal rotation. So this is external rotation of the shoulder, this is internal rotation. It's easy to remember which one's good and bad, because if you go like this and you say something is bad, that's internal rotation is bad, okay? External rotation is good. So if you just externally rotate like this, you're good, okay? So this is like the test that they do to see if you have shoulder impingement when you go to the doctor is you put your arms out. Well, let me see if I can face the camera here, okay? It's like I'm about to give you guys a big hug, okay? But anyways, so you go like this, and if you have shoulder impingement, and you do this, they call it the empty can test, okay? So you got your beer. I don't have a beer right now. I'm just gonna take a sip of water. So let's say that you have the doctor, they're trying to figure out if you have like a acromioclavicular joint issue, an AC joint issue. It's just like right here. A lot of people's supraspinatus, their rotator cuffs get injured right there, and they can't get into internal rotation. So what they do is, in order to test it out, they put you into internal rotation and they push down really, like, it doesn't even need to be really hard, but they push down like this. And if you do the empty can test here, and you're pouring out the beer cans, and they push down and it hurts, then you have shoulder impingement. That's a pretty good way of, shoulder impingement is just like when something's getting pinched in your shoulder there and it causes a lot of pain. And it's how you do a differential diagnosis between shoulder impingement and another rotator cuff related injury, or it could be maybe something that's not in the rotator cuff. So it could be referred pain and stuff like that. Let's see what you guys are saying so far here, by the way. Why do you have the chromium, why do you have the arm behind your back? Chromium process happy. It's actually the achromium process, Scott. A-C-R-O-M-I-U-M. Achromion. A-C-R-I-O-N. It's easier when you write stuff out than trying to spell it out loud. So that's the little bump right here. But anyways, Scott says my traps and scalene muscles are getting stretched. Margie says that's perfect. Scott says I'm flexing my rhomboid muscles and I have external rotation. That's really good. Okay. Do we still have Penny and Bill with us? Let me see here. Okay, so that's another one of those stretches. But by the way, yeah, Penny and Bill are still here. Comment, let me know you guys are still listening, by the way. I might do that beer can test on Bill just because. You know, not even testing out for the AC joint, but just because sometimes you just need to empty out those beer cans, you know what I'm saying? Party's over. All right, I'm back in the saddle here, back in the chair. Oh, you're still here, that's good. Oh wait, I'm gonna like that. Hold on a second. Yeah. Cool, cool. Coo, choo. Just doing the chin tuck we talked about last time, so going from here to here, like for example, say you guys ever get in a car accident, okay? You're going to be doing, you can do like really gentle versions of these stretches I just showed you, like without any, like even just turning like this and looking as far as you can to the right. The audio is going to cut out a little bit here, and looking as far as you can to the left. That actually does stretch the muscles out. Now you can actually like try to turn it, but it's much better to actually just use these muscles to turn. Use your sternoclavicular or your sternocleidomastoid and some of those other muscles that are like these big muscles here that turn you this way, okay? So just looking left and right and just holding that stretch, that can be good when you have whiplash. Another good one when you have whiplash is the chin tuck, which is what we're about to show you right now. So the chin tuck is like when you have this kind of Neanderthal kind of look, okay, this forward head tilted posture, and you want to like reverse that, what you do is a chin tuck. So you tuck your chin in like this. And one thing that really helps is to push back like this, and you kind of try to give yourself a double chin, right? Now if you have a beard, it covers up the double chin. I just had a big lumberjack beard I just shaved, so you know, I think I'm doing a little bit better. I'm not looking like I'm so crazy in the quarantine here. So Bill says when he empties beer cans, it's bicep curl. There you go. See, everybody's got their own strategies here. Okay, so they got the chin tuck, okay, and when you do when you have whiplash from a car accident, you can't like look forward like this, because if you try to stretch it out this way, it's a weighted exercise. You actually feel like the whole weight of your head tilting forward, and it can hurt your neck. So instead of doing that, if you want to stretch out these muscles right here, you can do this while you're driving in the car. I mean, you can do it literally while you're holding on to the steering wheel, although I would recommend going at the bottom of the steering wheel, because if you're like this, you might be a little bit tensed up, holding, you know, from the what is it, the 3 o'clock position? No, they don't tell you that. They tell you to go a little bit higher. I don't know my o'clock positions that well, but you know, instead of going like this, you know, just settle there, or just take your hands off the wheel if you're at a stoplight or something like this. But like if you're at a stoplight, do some chin tucks, okay? Go like this. Oh, you know what's a really good, yeah, so to go like this. But you know what's another really good one you can do in the car is, say you're driving along, okay, and this is my right hand, okay, my right arm, and I'm on, you know, the left side of the vehicle, I'm on the driver's side, and I reach back, okay, and now to my side, there's gonna be the passenger seat, okay, and what you do there is you reach behind the passenger seat, and it depends on the layout of your car a little bit, but I've driven several cars, and it's worked in all these cars I've driven, so, although technically they're all Equinoxes the last couple times, but whatever, hey. It's probably work anywhere you go. So you go behind the headrest, okay? And what it's gonna do is it's gonna open up your shoulder. So you wanna try to do ones, you can do, it's called the doorway stretch. You can do so, imagine that I had a, you know, like a doorway right here, okay? And this is the doorway. And I just put, well, how can I do this? Just imagine that this is the edge of the door, okay? And I go up to the door like this, okay? And I'm just letting it, what I'm letting it do is I'm letting it stretch me out. So I'm leaning into the frame of the door, and I'm just letting it stretch me out. It stretches out my chest, but also what it does is it puts me into external rotation. So if you can put yourself into external rotation, that's really good for your shoulder, and that can be good for the whole girdle. And the whole shoulder girdle, if that's healthy, it'll also relieve some, because your shoulder girdle has like your scapulae, okay? So like there's the shoulder joint, which is like right here. Technically the joint is right here, and then behind that is the girdle. And the shoulder girdle is governed by the scapula, and the scapula is your shoulder blade. So if your shoulder blade, that's where all your rotator cuff muscles attach to. So if you think that if your shoulder girdle, like, you know, all the muscles that attach around your scapula, if those are all doing good, then your neck muscles and your traps, which also touch the scapula, it's all connected, so it'll help relieve the tension there. So Grizzly Adams. Wait, what are people saying here? My sternocleidomastoid is turning. That's good. Your SCM is turning. Okay, so what was I just talking about? Something about the shoulder girdle for some reason. Oh, external rotation, so the doorway stretch. Now you can technically do the doorway stretch on, it depends on the size of the doorway and how broad your shoulders are. Like if you're a big dude and you do this, it's probably a lot easier. I like to do it one at a time, but you just lean in the doorway like this, and you lean forward, and you throw your chest forward, and it stretches out. It feels great, but the main thing is putting into external rotation. And when I'm driving in my car and I put my arm behind the headrest, okay, the seat behind me, doesn't necessarily need to be the headrest, but like, you know, as long as it's pulling you back this way and stretching you out, it feels great, and it relieves some tension. So I do that one in the car too, but I also do chin tucks at the stoplight. They probably look a little strange because I'm going like this, you know, I'm sitting there and I go and I put myself into a slouch, and then I pull myself back like this, and as I do that, I'm also tensing up some of the muscles back here, and yeah, it's interesting. It's a good stretch. Chin tucks. I don't know, there's a bunch of neck exercises that we could go through, but I think those ones are probably the best ones for you to remember. If I give you too many, you probably won't remember all of them. I was gonna try writing those down though. Let me just try to get that going here. Okay, so that was just a small portion from one of my 2 to 3 hour long Facebook live streams. If you guys want to catch one of my streams, follow my page on Facebook at facebook.com/onelifetolift. Go ahead and give it a like, and you'll get notified whenever I go live. If you like this kind of content, check out the other clips I have on my Stream Clips playlist here on YouTube, and if there's a topic you'd like me to expand on, sound off in the comments down below. If it's something that I can answer quickly, I'll respond in the comments, but if it's a bigger topic, I may even make it a video in the future for my YouTube channel, or just do a stream on it. I'm always looking for new suggestions since there are so many juicy topics to cover, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more of these videos, and I'll catch you in the next clip coming right up.